Hello and salut everybody. So today I want to answer a question. I talk about masturbation and I call it a spirit. And I was asked and I was told and was asked and was it was an argument that why am I calling it a spirit? And I explained that. And I am back here to explain that and explain the reason why I am calling masturbation a spirit. And I'm going to tell you why we should consider all of these things that we do that is not godly. All the sins, all the suffering, all the addiction, all the things in our lives, we have to consider them as spirits because they are spirits. They are coming from, the devil. They are evil spirit. They are things that are not godly. They are things that are against God's will. They are things that we are doing, um, that we are doing that is destroying our souls, our bodies. That's why I'm calling them spirit. And until you actually accept them as spirit, when you accept them as they are spirit, then you know how to fight against them. So I want to just clarify that on this video. But until then, I want to welcome you back to Chatting with Nicole. Welcome back to Chatting with Nicole. If you have not subscribed, do me a favor, subscribe right now, share this video, like, and also check out the rest of the videos. So we are back. This is my second video. I did a verbal audio scrapbook earlier, but I wanted to answer this, but when I came online, it's just this thing was just in my head. I couldn't go with my topic, so I had to do that scrapbook with you. I hope you enjoyed it, and I hope you are going to give me a feedback on that. But right now, like I said, I am again before I already said on the first video, I am super grateful that we get opportunity to live today, to speak today, to chat today. I am grateful for our lives. We got another day to live, so I am just super grateful for you and for myself. So I call masturbation a spirit that we need to fight against. And I was asked, why am I calling those things spirit? Because I call them spirits. And I want to tell you that it is a spirit. When we read the Bible, we know that we have to fight against, these are principalities that we have to fight against. And we have to fight against them with prayers. We have to pray, we have to fast, we have to ask God, the Holy Ghost, and Jesus to help us fight against all of these that are fighting against us in this world, this perverse world that we are living in, with full of sins, everything in it. So we have to fight against, and we have to ask the Holy Ghost to help us discern, give us discernment to weed out all the things that are not good, and so that we can actually focus on the things that are really good, that is godly. So you know how Jesus said that if we have faith, we can ask a mountain to move, and the mountain will move. Jesus, we have to pray against that. So all of these things in our life, they are mountains spiritually. I'm speaking to my, Christian family here, right? So you all know that everything that we go through, it's a spirit. All these issues, all these addictions that we are going through, they are mountains. They are our spiritual mountains, and they are spirits. So if we realize and recognize them as such, then we know how to fight against them, and we know that we cannot do it alone. We need the Holy Ghost to do it with us, to help us fight against them, stand strong, and win. So I am going to call masturbation is a spirit. Adultery is a spirit. Cheating is a spirit. Stealing is a spirit. Lying is a spirit. It is a spirit. Everything that we have, addiction, drug addiction, alcohol addiction, they are all spirits. They are evil spirits. They are spirits that are in us. The devil is planted in us and using in us. You know how your weakness. Let's say that you just love alcohol, but you've been fighting against alcohol. The devil always finds a way to put you in the middle of the situation where alcohol is all you have in front of you. It's tempting you to give in. If you're weak with women, the devil is going to find a way and use one of your brothers, one of your sisters, one of your friends to drag you into a nightclub. You know what I mean? Or a strip club somewhere so that you can give in into your temptation. They are all spirits. Weakness, our addiction. These are all temptations. They are all weak spirits, temptation. The spirit the devil is using. So everything that we fight against, the drugs addiction, the alcohol addiction, the sex addiction, all the addiction, they are all spirits. I call them spirits. They are all spirit, evil spirit that the devil is planting in us, using us to commit all these actions. Do all these acts. When we are committing these acts, we are praising him. He loves it. Because when we are doing this, we're forgetting about God. We don't think about God. We don't think about him. Sometimes we even do it thinking that, oh, it's okay. Because he put it in our mind that it's not too bad. It's okay. Spirit lying, it's a spirit. And sometimes when we do that, we are saying, oh, at least I'm not killing somebody. So it's okay. It is not okay. It is a spirit. So if I'm calling masturbation a spirit, it's because it is a spirit, it's evil spirit. And I stand on it. I will not change and say that, no, it was a mistake. It was not a mistake. I did it on purpose. I'm calling, masturbation a spirit because it is a spirit. I am calling lying a spirit because it's a spirit. Stealing is a spirit. Cheating is a spirit. Scamming is a spirit. Everything that we do that is against God's will, they're all spirits. And we need to recognize them as such. And we need to fight against them. So any spirit, any addiction that you're going through, it's a spirit. But the truth is, no matter what that spirit is, no matter how bad it is, no matter how painful it is, no matter how long you have it, no matter how long you'll be going through this, no matter how terrible it is, no matter how small it is, you think it is, you can fight against it. You can win against it if you just recognize what they are. If you recognize them and go in front of God and ask for forgiveness and ask God to help you fight it, you can get through it. You can get through it. When I was saying masturbation, people are testifying every day through Kanguka saying how women and men, young ladies, young women, coming testifying how they are delivered from spirit of masturbation. It's amazing. You just have to recognize it. You recognize what it is, and you can ask God to fight, to help you fight against it so that you can win. Because we can win. We can always win if you recognize it and if we know what it is. So masturbation is a spirit. Everything that we do, the addictions, they're all spirit. Let me tell you the book of Mark. Book of Mark, Mark 5. In the beginning of that verse, I think we read it before. In the beginning of that verse, there was a demon. They describe a demon who was in the tombs. And this demon was, nothing could hold him. He was so powerful that he was hurting himself. He was hurting himself. That was the demon. He was hurting himself. When I read that, I think about, all our children, who are drug addiction, hurting themselves, putting needles in their skin, hurting themselves, putting skin, drugging themselves, putting all the needles in their skin. It's a spirit. And Jesus cast out the spirit out of this man. He cast the spirit out of this man, and this man was free. So all these addiction, all these things that we do, they are spirit. They are spirits. He was doing all of this when Jesus cast him out, the man was free. He was free because there are spirit in us, forcing us to do these things. And the spirit that the devil spread around that and just taking us because of our weaknesses and taking control of our mind and body. And we are just feeding our body, feeding our skin with all these addictions, all these evil spirit to control our mind. And we are thinking that, doing that, that's life. You are the best time of your life ever. But it's a lie from the devil. It is these spirits are, what do you call it? Covering us. We don't see. You can see clearly when you have these spirits in you. So I am calling them spirit because they are spirit. They are spirit. And I'm telling you that no matter what the spirit is, even if it's just lie once in a while, it's still a spirit. If you're just stealing little things, not much, maybe just a pencil, it's a spirit in you. No matter what the sin is, no matter what it is, it's a spirit. So I'm just saying, to answer the question, I didn't make a mistake when I called masturbation a spirit. And all the addiction that we have, the stuff that we have in our body, they are spirit, and we have to fight against it. We have to fight against it. Paul said that he treated his body severely. I'm talking about Paul, Apostle Paul in the Bible. He said he treated his body severely on purpose, meaning that he's denying his body of these spirits. He's denying his body of certain things that he wants his body wants to do, but he's denying his body from doing it. Like denying your body from sleeping with somebody else's wife, somebody else's husband, denying your body from masturbating, denying your body from stealing, denying your body of watching pornography, denying your mouth from talking bad about somebody, gossiping. Deny your ears from listening to certain things, certain music, watching certain things. Denying your body from touching other people, doing something that is, taking something that is not yours. Denying your body, enjoying being in the midst of people who are not like-minded people. He treat his body severely. That means denying your flesh from, humanly things that is not godly. So we have to deny ourselves, our body, from these evil spirits. So there are evil spirits. So we have to recognize all these addiction, all these issues, all this, evil spirit in us, forcing us to do all these: cheat, lie, steal, commit adultery, commit fornication, cheat and lie, and step on other people, gossiping, hating one another, judging one another. All of these are spirit we have to fight against. So they are spirit, and I'm standing my ground saying that they are spirit we have to fight against, but we can't do it ourselves. That's why we have to fight with principalities. We need the power of God. We need the Holy Ghost. We need Jesus to help us. But in order for that to happen, you have to recognize where your spirit are, where your battles are. When you recognize your battle, then you can, if you can do it, yes, pray and do it. But ask God to help you so we can fight against all these evil principalities, all these evil spirits in our body. And I promise you, it doesn't matter what it is. It doesn't matter how. When you ask for forgiveness, no matter how your sin, no matter how big or how small your sin is, you ask for forgiveness, God will forgive you. No matter how small, no matter how big, God will forgive you. I always remember when Jesus was crucified, on the cross, they crucified two people with him. One of them was mocking Jesus. The other one defending Jesus and asked Jesus to remember him. All Jesus said is that even that day, that night, he was going to be in paradise with him. We don't know what that sin that man committed. We don't know how terrible his sin was. Maybe his sin may have been even worse than the other one. You know what I mean? The other one who was mocking Jesus. But because he recognized his sin and asked Jesus to remember him, Jesus said he was going to be in paradise with him. So that means if we recognize our sin, we recognize who Jesus is, and we recognize what it is, we ask for forgiveness, and we ask Jesus to help us fight it, we can win. So it doesn't matter how late it is. It doesn't matter how early. It doesn't matter how long you've been doing it. It doesn't matter what it is. Recognize this spirit. Recognize whatever it is. Recognize it as a spirit. Ask for forgiveness. And Ask for God to help you so you can resist it going forward. Because remember, it says, resist the devil and he will flee from you. If you resist it, if you know what it is, then you resist it. It will flee from you, because every time, the devil keep putting you in the middle of alcohol. He knows you're trying to win this. You're trying to stop drinking. He kept putting you there, and you keep resisting. At one point, those friends that are taking you to that alcohol, in the middle of the alcohol, they're not going to happen anymore, because they're going to get tired. They're going to say, you know what? That's it. Well, I'm not calling him anymore, because we did it so many times and he didn't fall to it. So he's going to leave you. If you resist it, you know what it is and you know it's bad, and you continue to resist it, it is going to flee from us. So all of these things that we have, they are spirit. And we have to recognize them as evil spirit in order for us to fight, in order for us to ask for the Holy Ghost, to ask God, to ask Jesus to help us fight it and help us continue to resist it, so that we can keep our body sanctified, our mind, our body, our eyes, our soul, our body, our soul, our spirit sanctified for Jesus, so that, they will all flee from us. All right? So that is what I wanted to say today. Subscribe to the channel. Again, if you have not subscribed, share with everyone. I know it is difficult to go through these things, these conversations. I know, but it is the reality. It is what we have to do, because nowadays there are so many distractions out there, so many topics, so many things we can fuel our minds with. But we are not talking about the most important things, which are our body, our soul, where we end up at the end of the day. So that's why I cannot just sit here and talk to you about gossip. I cannot sit here and just talk to you about my skin. I cannot sit here and just talk to you about Beyonce and the concerts and the things that I cannot do that. Because at the end of the day, that's not what is important. What is important is where we end up. What is important is our soul. What is important is you and I to end up in heaven. So yes, there's still life we have to live, but we have to be able to talk about the most important thing. So through everything that is going on, we still have to talk about the truth. We still have to talk about what is more important, the reality. At the end of the day, how are we going to fight against all these principalities, all these things? How are we going to get up? How are we going to come out strong? How are we going to come out at the other side? How are we going to find ourselves on the other side? How are we going to be ready for Jesus? How are we going to be? Where are we going to be at the end of the day? At the end of the day is our soul. Where do our soul end up? And I have to talk about that. So I want you guys to share this with everyone you know. Subscribe to the channel again if you have not subscribed already, and also check out the rest of the videos. But until then, I want you to stay safe and blessed, and I'll see you on the next one.